Hello and welcome to Wallybois. Yet again we're in the workshop and yet again I'm going to be doing some more sharpening of various tools. I might even try and do something with this chisel that I found in the garden. Yeah, it's an old barcode chisel, and a few weeks ago I discovered it after digging the garden over. Obviously I was using it in the garden, but clearly yeah, I must have dropped it and forgot about it. And it's an old barcode. It's not great. They're not great chisels. I find them a little bit on the soft side, if I'm honest. But yeah, they don't bend, mind. So it might be just a tempering on the end of the chisel. So I'll see if we can revive that as well. But meanwhile, we're going to do a bit of sharpening. And let's see if we can get some information up. Just so I can see who's here. I'm in there. There, and I should have done this a minute ago, shouldn't I? That I should. So I've got the cameras set up. I've got my other cameras come today, which is this one here. I think it's a little bit better actually than the other camera, because the angle is much wider. So I think that's a bit of a bonus, having been able to get more in, I suppose. So okay, so it's a bit of a random one. Like I say, it's a random. Well, not really, is it? Sharpening tools. Because like I said, I've got loads of tools here that I've allowed to get all rusty, and they need sharpening anyway. And it's nice to have your tools ready to hand to use, such as this old Braids steel chisel, which is quite similar to this other Braids cast steel chisel, in the sense that bit is, but the handles are different. This is almost like an old Marples format of a handle. But yeah, they're different. I think this one's considerably older. So if you look on the back of this one, we have Sheffield is stamped on the back of there. If you can say that is. But this one doesn't. But they're both Braids cast steel chisels. And if you hear my dog's bark, it might be because the missus I got has come back. So that one I've just sharpened. That one's good. Apart from there's a bit of a wobble in the handle, so I'll probably dunk this in some water just to get the handle to expand a little bit. I could separate that, or even make it a new handle really. But the handle's actually not bad condition. It's not split on the end and what have you. I like old tools. I like them to look like they're used, a bit like me. So yeah, so it's got a bit of a wobble in it, but we can get rid of that by dunking it in some water. It'll expand. You see, it'll swell up. We had a really hot summer. And that caused some problems with a variety of different tools, to be honest, because what happened is everything dried out. So I'm going to put you onto the Double, not that one. No, is that one? Yes, that one. So you can see what's going on. So the camera up above and this one here as well. So what we're doing is we're going to use these. Where I can, I'll use these diamond sharpeners. I have got this 4000 grit oil stone here as well. I've got loads of different oil stones. I'll probably bring that one out as well. So I have this 1000 grit diamond. In most cases, that's fine for a chisel. You don't really need much finer than that for a chisel. But if you're doing anything like, for instance, hand planes and what have you, such as my Stanley Baileys with the Victor irons in them. These got the Victor. I'll show you. You can see that on there. I've got the Victor cast, so hand forged plane irons, and these are actually considerably thicker as well. These are 3mm thick, or 1/8 of an inch in the United States. But anyway, they're really good. You can't. I haven't been able to see them anymore. I haven't seen Victors anymore, but you can get Clifton. Very similar. Definitely worth the upgrade. It makes a huge difference. I mean, a massive difference to any plane. I've got two. I've got the number 6 and my number 7 with those in. And I absolutely love them. I think they're brilliant things. Far superior. So anyway, so what we're going to do is we'll do this one first. This is old Braids firmer chisel. Now we talked about yesterday about bevel chisels, bevel angle chisels, such as one of. Yeah, like the old 5002, which I do actually use quite a lot, that one. And that's got bevels. And that's a proper, I consider that a proper bevel chisel. because the bevels go very, very thin on the edge. I was mentioning yesterday regarding being able to get close to the shoulders of a, say a dovetail for instance. It allows you to get in nice and close because it's very thin at that edge here. That's what that's what a bevel edge chisel should be like. Yeah, in that case. That one is sharp, to be fair, it's not that sharp. But this one is a firmer chisel. It has no bevels. It's the older format of chisel. You don't see these so much these days. A mortise chisel is similar to that, except it's thicker at this point here because you're creating a lot of leverage, but banging a lot of cross grain as well, end grain, sorry. And you know, I acquired these used anywhere, eBay and places like that, years and years and years and years. Or eBay was no car boots. I'm talking about car boots. And then I'd so what I did get on eBay was my Jack Lane, my number 5 Bailey, covered in dust, but yeah, don't use it very often. So that's my number 5 Stanley Bailey, and I bought it for 20 quid on eBay. Ended up being something not very far away from where I lived, literally about 5 kilometres down the road. So what I'm going to do is first I'm going to clean these up because well, they've got a bit of pitting on them, a bit of rust. So we don't want rust, no. It's just the start of it, you know. Because I didn't winterise properly. Nope, I didn't. I was a very, very naughty boy. We're probably going to be using the linisher as well, which is the machine, like a big belt sand, basically. We're all on there. Oh, I've got my fingers. I should be wearing gloves. Oh, I wonder I got rough old hands. Right. Oh, if I do sniffle or what have you, I do apologise, but I've got COVID, so according to the listeners anyway, so see what it says. I'm just flattening the back off first, just going to, well I say flat, I'm just cleaning the back off, get rid of that rust. You could use a wire brush in a, you know, bench grind or something like that, which I have done before, but in this case I'm just using the 300 grip diamond stone. These are only cheap ones. I think they're a tool pack or something like that. Really, really cheap. But really, surprisingly good. You don't always have to spend a huge amount of money. Otherwise, I'd have bought some others. You know what I mean? I'd have bought DMTs or something if I thought I needed to, but I didn't. I'll tell you what I did see on Amazon yesterday was same kind of thing like as one of these. You know, fixed steel, plated. They had 1,400 combinations, so it's felt 400 on the back, 1,000 on, you know, on the top, vice versa. 20 quid, definitely worth it. It's like having 2 stones, isn't it? But for 20 quid, I think it's a bargain. If it's anything like these ones, you know, these could do with being replaced now. To be fair, you know. Now I'm looking at this now. There's actually a notch in there. So what we will take this to the linisher, because I use the linisher to regrind its primary bevel. Now your primary bevel on a chisel is generally about 25 degrees, so I have got a little gauge here somewhere I could have showed you. It was here. No, I can't see it. That's a bit odd. I'm always losing things. How come I always lose stuff? Every time I do a live stream, I mislay stuff. But there's a little brass thing here somewhere with angles on. What on earth have I done with that? Well, that makes very little sense because it was there a minute ago, so I was using it. Maybe I'll put it down somewhere else. Oh, that'll turn up and I'll show you then. But yeah, they generally. Oh, here it is. I must have it in my hand and went to the computer. One of these. It's a little angle finder thingy majiggy. And it's got little angles. You can get these on Amazon or eBay, what have you. But your primary grind, so your first grind, the biggest grind, would be 25 degrees, such as that, which that is. It's about 25 degrees. Iron up, yeah, 25 degrees. Then your second grind, your micro bevel, I should say, would be 25 degrees, yeah. But if you're doing like a, say for instance, a mortise chisel, such as one of these, this one needs sharpening, to be honest. A mortise just like one of these ones. You would, where is it? That way? Yeah. You do 30, 40. So there's a much steeper angle, even on the primary grind. That one needs some TLC desperately. This one might be a better one to show you actually. Like that. So that would be 30 degrees, and then your micro bevel should be about 40 degrees. on a mortise chisel. Regarding carving chisels or what have you, it really depends on the chisel, because all different shapes and sizes, you see. So that kind of dictates that. Oh, who have we got here today? We've got Gingers. Hello, Gingers. Hope you're well. And not just sawdust, just wanted to step out to load the van. Then this happens. Oh, sorry. Oh, dear. Oh, beach, everybody. And Simon says, hello there. I hope you're all well. So, yeah. Still removing wallpaper with Marcus on the background. Oh, no, you can have a wallpaper stripper. Or just a stripper, that would be good. Oh, can't say that these days. Oh, can't say all these rude stuff now. Right, get some spit on there. We will be putting this on the linisher. You can see that there, can't you? Yeah. I could just put it on that camera, couldn't I, really? That one. Any better? I don't know. Don't know if you can see it or not. I've got that on top of there. I'll get everything on top of everything there. Right, to give you an idea, I'll tell you what I'll show you. Just, if I go back to 7, no, not 7, 6, and then bring up F1. Oh, all these things I've got to think about. Oh, that one, that. You can see it on there. That's, there you go. So you can see it on there. That's 25 degrees for your primary bevel. This is on chisel, and 30 degrees on your micro bevel, which is the basic with the sharp edge is going to be. The bit that'll cut you. Yeah, it can hurt. So yeah, that's that. So let's go back onto the. Oh, yeah, stay on that for a minute. I'll swap them around. So I'm just cleaning the back of that off. I did have another camera set up. For some reason, it was struggling. It was going a bit like an old tube TV. Yeah. So I decided to scrap that one for a minute. I need some more cables, basically. My cables are all, you know, I keep buying cables. Don't need more. Crazy. Webcams for you. They take a lot of data. You know, because what I've done to be able to do this with these live streams, I've got multiple cameras. I've done it so I've got I bought a USB 3 card inside the PC. Thinking that I'll be able to plug all the cameras into that. Not too much trouble, especially the 1080p ones. And for high definition, what you call it, FHD. And I thought that'd be enough, but it clearly was not, because you can only run 2 cameras on it, even though it's got like six inputs. So obviously it's about data the thing can transfer via the PCI card inside the computer. So I've got them plugged in all over the place at the moment. I've got a couple of USB 3s on the front of the computer as well, so I'm using them. But for some reason one of the cameras is struggling, and I think it's the cable. Right, so I've just cleaned that, got the rust off though, as you can see. So it's a bit shinier. Shiny! Yeah, like China! No? Okay. So we'll go on to the other camera, which I think is that one? No, that's not working. That one. Yeah, that one. We're going to the linisher, and I have to take some water with me, because I have to keep this cool. And if I don't keep it cool, it will get hot. And when it gets hot, it will be problematic, because you lose the temper in the steel. Basically the steel will go blue, and then you'll lose the temper. So I've got a bit of water here, and I've got a little pot that I have over here, this one here. Bit grubby actually. Right, something to clean it out with. The dust, you see, it's collecting dust. I'll just clean that out, and I'll put some water in there. And every so often I'll have to, well, isn't it dusty? Oh, dirt everywhere. Yeah, so I'll just, that'll be enough. That'll do. A bit of water in there. This is, I think there was a creme brulee or something came in that pot. I've got a little tray thing that sits in, so it can't fall off over there. Got my rag over here so I can dry as I go. Now I need that little angle finder, because I'm going to do this by eye. There's not much you can really put on top of a linisher that's going to help you, because obviously this, moving at high speed it is. Let's bring the light around so you can have a bit more light. That's better. I uploaded a video a minute ago because I was making little hoods for my cameras in here, and so it's probably an old video there for woodwork, but I thought it was quite relevant for people who just have webcams, because like for instance, this webcam here has a little hood above it. Yeah, and I made a little hood, like a little Velcro hood that sits on the top. That stops the light, because all my light comes from above, you see, pretty much, and that causes flare. Take too much off one side, because it's actually not straight along the top, then it should be, but I'm also going the other way too much at this point here, so I need to correct that. It's actually dropped just a fraction on that side a little bit on the right hand side, so I need to try and correct that. It don't matter, because I ain't got to the notch yet. I haven't got rid of the notch yet, so I can tell when I'm getting to the point when I need to dunk some water. You feel the heat come up the, up the piece of steel. Focus on that, I don't know. I can't see it at the moment. In the wrong position, but you just see that burr. You see that burr on the end there, where it's actually rolled the steel off the end, of the piece, or off the chisel. There's a push on it, and see it bends. Now that's what happens when you sharpen with your oil stones as well. You get that, but obviously it's much smaller, because obviously this is more aggressive. There's an 80 grit on there. It's just been flattened down probably to about a 120, to be honest. But yeah, cause blunt. But yeah, as you can see on there, it needs now it needs its micro bevel, which is basically the bit that does the cutting. You wouldn't use it like that. It would just fold over and be blunt anyway. It'd be pointless. So I'll go over to the other camera. Go back to the bench. Oh! See if you can see on there. I don't know if you can. Oh, you can. So it's there. You can see that rough old edge. Well, that's like the micro. It's like your wire edge, basically. But it's much coarser. So yeah, I do like these little cameras. These little Orky cameras. I think they're excellent value for money. Highly recommend them. So now what we're going to do is we're going to concentrate on our micro bevel, not using the coarse. We're going to go down to something much thinner. Now, you probably notice I was using oil on here, not water. Generally, you would use water or Windoline or something, something like that. When you're using diamond sharpness, be honest, I don't like doing that. I did yesterday, but mainly more for the purpose of the video, really. The reason I don't like doing that is because I find that it's a lot of these flipping things aren't. Well, they rust. Basically, they rust. So obviously, if you use oil, they don't rust. So I'm not saying you should use oil. I'm not, you should really use water, but I prefer not to. Now I'm just going to use a nice action like so. And I haven't checked the angles. I could do, I suppose. I've left the angle finder over there, I bet, and I will be a bit surprised. But yeah, I'm working on the 30 degree. You kind of get to know anyway, to be honest. The micro bevel, you don't want to overwork that. You don't want like a huge micro bevel because you'll make the edge vulnerable. Because the primary bevel's there for, or the primary grind bevel, is there and supports your micro bevel. So if you go too far back, you make your actual edge vulnerable. And you see it on there, it's starting to come together, but the burr is still there. You see that, the burr? There's a burr, alright? But we didn't finish yet anyway, but I'm going to start removing the burr. There's various ways you can do it. One is if, let's go to the other camera, that's probably a good idea. There you go, I'll keep pointing to that camera, what we say. But look, if you look on there, there's a little burr on there. You feel it with your fingers when you're actually doing it. It's actually broken off there a little bit. I can see the bits of metal on my fingers. There's various ways of getting rid of it. One way is what some people do is they find a bit of wood like so and they do that. And it can peel the burr off. Equally, you can blunt in your edge by doing that. The other way is to strop it. Some people use a hand like so. I don't generally do that with chisel. I definitely do that with plane iron stuff, because much wider chisels you can quite easily cut yourself. I think this is back. Been to my grandchild's birthday party, or helping out with the kids and stuff. She went that round as well last night. Gosh, it's getting quite sharp. I think these it's Sorby. This one is. Is it Sorby? Yeah, this one's Sorby. No, it's not a brace. It's a Sorby. What was I talking about earlier? Yeah, so you can really get a lovely edge on these. And what you'll find is with a lot of this older steel, it might not be as hard, but it's easy to sharpen. But also, it can really get a really good edge. Yeah, I think it's almost. Yeah, it's getting very sharp. It's not finished yet though, because we want to go down a grit. I'm fairly certain that's the missus. Yeah, again, I'm using a little bit of. This is white spirit and a little bit of engine oil, and that's all it is. There's nothing special. It's cheap, basically. Instead of using like 3-in-1 oil, like a lot of people do, you don't need that. It's doing a bit of a figure of 8 motion. So I want to use all the stone. I don't want to just have like a worn bit in the middle. So I'll try and use as much of the stone as I can. This was 1,000 grit. That, as you see, I'm not using guides like this, because you could put it in a guide and a bit of tape. No way. you could put it in a guide and roll backwards and forwards if you want. That's, it's not a bad idea at all. It's a good idea. But you'll get to a stage where you can just do it by hand, and you'll be able to, especially if you've got your primary grind right, your micro bevel will come along. But what happens is over a period of time, you're getting a cumulative error over a period of time. And but at this stage, once I don't. Believe me, it's just going to be sharp, just do it by hand like so. Now, if it's plane irons, I generally do my plane irons 2 sharpens by hand, and I correct it in the actual carriage system that I've got, which I made. Try to get more of my angles 100% right, and then I also use a digital angle finder because they're very, very expensive plane irons, and if you don't get them right, you're at risk of damaging them, and obviously you shorten their life. So just pulling on that 1,000 grit, and it's pulling that burr that way, but also if I come back on this way, it'll bend it back again. That'll break off eventually. So there's another way of getting rid of your burr. The other way is with a strop, and I tend to use a strop and paste, which I've got behind me. And so basically, you just do like 20 strokes using paste and a leather strop. It's basically mounted in a block of wood. It's an old piece of leather from an old a harness for oxen or something, that I found on the land. So I thought, I'll do a bit of leather, nice old thick piece of leather, that'll make a good strop, and it does. Right, so I think we're almost there. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's fairly sharp, wouldn't you say? But we can make that even sharper if you want to. You can with this old steel. We're going to use that. That's an oil stone, but it's quite a fine oil, very fine oil. So I think it's 4,000 grit, if I remember rightly. It's quite hard to remember this stuff. It's probably about 25 years old. You chuck around in an old tool bag on site and what have you. So oil stones must have oil. You can't use water on them. You must use oil. What it does, it makes sure the oil stone isn't just lubricated. Make sure it's clean. Otherwise, what happens is all the pores will just fill up with metal, basically, little metal fragments. Feel the burn back there. There's a trick that some people use, and that's using a steel rule like that, and just finish off the micro bevel like that a few strokes that way. I'm not that keen on that. I tend to do it by hand, to be honest. If I'll lift it a little bit and bring it back. I'm not a tool tart. I like my tools. I like my tools to work. So as long as they're doing what they need to do, it shouldn't be all that really matters. You know, as long as you don't use, I don't know, a dining, you know, your cutlery to change a plug. That's the kind of thing that irritates me. It's, yeah, like the missus used to do when I first met her. I thought, what the hell? And you got a flipping screwdriver just to undo a flipping plug. She says no. For God's sake. I remember my old man, God, and burn it. Foos goes, what did he do? He gets his fag packet out, take the little the foil out of the fag packet, wraps it around the foos and sticks it back into the older, I think they were Wilex foos box at the time. Oh, that's it. That's definitely sharp. So that's still very usable. See, okay, modern chisels generally are bevel edged like this one, but I don't. Why worry? If you don't need to, you know, if you've got an old chisel like that, I prefer using this with the wooden handles. To be honest, plastic handles make your hands sweat. So that's that one done. I'll have it. I'll put it back on in this box. Put it back in the box. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to see what we do with that. This rusty old chisel. Look at the state of that. It's pitted. It's all pitted in that. So it's in a bit of a hell of a way, isn't it? A bit of a hell of a way. It is a hell of a way. Wouldn't you say? I would say so. I would say it's pretty much how to put it. It's unhappy. That's it. It's an unhappy chisel. Yeah. Okay. Bam. Anyway, let's see what you're saying. Simon says, still removing wallpaper. And Hawk says, hello everybody. What does that mean, Golmigadag? It's like a hello or something. I know I haven't said it right, but is that go? My light's still on it. That's good. If that light ain't on, you know, I'm not streaming. I'm not. You can't hear me because my light's not on. Hello everyone, says Context. Hello there, Context. I hope you're well. Got Mad Monk 33. Got Dr. Sawdust. Got people here. That's what we got. Got people. Hello, people. So yeah, we're just doing a bit of sharpening for the moment. And this one, we're going to see what we can do. We're going to see if we can liven that up. So let's go to a different camera. That one will do. That one will do. Yeah, we'll go over here. So I'm going to attack it with this. This is a bit wobbly. Why is that wobbly? It ain't usually wobbly, but it is wobbly. Right. We're going to first attack it with this. How's that camera looking on there? Is that okay? I think so. That'll do. That'll do. By the way, it's got a wire wheel in it. still pitted though, so what we're going to do with that is we're going to flatten the back and try and shape up the sides and the heels and what have you. The heel is that part there of the chisel, that bit like along the back there. There's a bevel edge chisel, and then we'll try and we'll try and make it usable again, because at the moment it isn't, is it? No. So I need to go over there, which means I need to press a button over here first. Remember which one it is. That one. That one. No, that's the camera that's not working. Oh, I'm on the wrong thing, that's one. There you go, that one there. Not that one. That one, that's the one. And we're going to try and flatten the back. It won't be that flat, because I'll do that on the actual. I'll get rid of all this rust and pitting. You see, if you've got too much pitting, you're never going to get a sharp edge. But this steel's probably harder than the other chisel we used a minute ago. So let's give it a go. Idea, what, try and bring this disc, this belt, nearer the edge. I might need to adjust the belt so it comes to the edge. It's too far that way at the moment. So to do that, I need to run it. Basically did is I altered the angle of this wheel here. There's a roller on the end here, so effectively what I've done is I altered the angle of this. There's a knurled nut here you can adjust to push one side, what have you, and then you've got one on the other side as well. So all I've done is I've made it so it's that side's pushing out further. So effectively push the belt this way a little bit. And the reason why I want it near the edge is otherwise I'm not going to get to the edge of this, you see. So I've got to try and get along there like so. Now I can. I've got water ready. Okay. There's still some pitting there, and there, but I'm not, not be funny, but we're only sharpening that bit, so that bit doesn't matter. Ow, it's hot. Water. So yeah, so you see that there, that's where that pitting is there. It's going to be a few years before you ever sharpen that enough to get down to that. So that's not a worry. So now I'm going to go onto the heel next. Okay, you could argue the heel isn't actually going to affect the actual sharpened edge at all, so it's not really that necessary. But I would like to try and actually see whether or not it's possible to change this bevel, because this bevel is inaccurate, it's incorrect. I would like to make this chisel more usable for, say, for instance, I don't know, dovetails, because at the moment that is too thick. That distance from there to there is too much. So the bevels are incorrect in the first place. It's not the worst I've seen, obviously, but it's, it's as good as using it. You might as well have a firmer chisel if you're going to allow it to be like that. So Get my little angle guide over there. Don't lose it. So now this bit's going to be a bit trickier. Start to round it off a little bit there, but I think I'll sort that out on the diamond. But I have actually managed to get that to the right thickness at this point here. So it's tapering down to much thinner at that point to make it that'll be more of a usable chisel. I think when you buy like these tools, half the time they're not really ready to use, to be honest, especially planes. The amount of times hand planes I've come across that are definitely not ready. Like, for instance, they've got hollow spaces on the sole. So you find that when you start trying to run them with a linen shot or something like that, even something like this, you'll find there'll be hollows, and you need to get them out because that'll affect the usability of the saw, of the hand plane. Sometimes on one of my hand planes, that big old number 7, I had that milled, so they skimmed it for me. Didn't actually need it really. Case in point, that side when I was doing from end to end, it was uniform all the way along. This one's got to avoid it. Look, it's a hollow where you've got that part that hasn't touched there. So that's not because it's got pitted, that's because it's badly machined. Does it matter? In this case, I know. I'd probably take out a little bit more on that side. So I'll lose a bit of that as well, but I could probably go down a little bit thinner here, you see. What to do is do that grind. I've got those two bevels cleaned up. You know, they look fairly uniform. I hope they are anyway. Quite thin there. It's nice. It's quite thin there. So I'm using my gauge. Basically 25 degrees. I've marked it so I can see where they are there. Right up at a light, and at the moment it's not at 25 degrees. It's a little bit on the steep side. want to see the steam come off there. That's how hot it is. But it hasn't turned it blue. What you don't want to happen, you don't want it to turn it blue. Because you use temper. There's a bit of a notch on this corner, so it actually going to need more grinding. Because that corner's not, you know, it's not there. No, it's not square. Oh dear. Damn it. I do. Small water. We'll take the bench and finish that off and see if we can make it into, you know, make it work again. So even though it's all pitted and horrible, you think it's not, you know, any good. It is possible to restore them. Yes, you don't have to do all this sort of stuff. You can do it by hand if you want, but that'll take you forever. So over to the other camera. Oh, we're back on that one. That moment is shiny, so it's kind of shiny. Yeah. Bit pitting there in the middle, but we're never going to, you know, get to that point, are we? Anytime soon. And the back, the heel, and what have you, that's definitely better. It needs a bit of work on the diamond, I think. And I'll make this chisel so I can actually use it as a pairing chisel to do around the, although I've got no one to use for that anyway, be on sides, to be honest. So, but yeah, you can see the thinness there now. In relationship to, say for instance, probably something I've got to do with these other chisels as well. If I show you another chisel, what I need to do, so it's that one. This is a beveled edge chisel, modern beveled edge chisel, but the bevel, as you can see, it is really thick. I was showing you yesterday actually, that's really thick. That shouldn't be. That might as well be a firmer chisel. The bevels are doing nothing whatsoever. Whereas that one now, as you can see, it is actually cut, not to a point as such, but it goes down to about 0.5 millimetre on the end. So it's because the bevels are now at a better angle. Okay, so really that, or I could do the same with this. Don't get me wrong, I could do the same with this, improve it, if I wanted to. So what we'll do is now, we'll go to the overhead camera. Let's see if we can do something with that, because currently it doesn't have a micro bevel. It actually feels reasonably sharp, but it doesn't have a micro bevel. It should have, you know, I had the angle gauge over this 2 seconds ago, didn't I? And now I can't see it. That doesn't make any sense. I put it down. Well, I never. These things, oh, here it is again. Found it. You know, I keep tidying this workshop up, and it's within seconds. You know, it's been a project. It's a bit, you know, it's in a mess at the moment. So I would say that's not. It's a bit on the wrong one. Sorry. One. Although what am I using it for? I've done this to about 3, so we'll do that one to 5. Alright, so I've actually ground it on a bit of the shallow side. It shouldn't be quite as shallow as that. It's remember, this is a thicker chisel. Yeah, definitely too far, but that's fine. It's not too far, but it's further than what I would have done normally. So we're going to go back onto these. Yeah, I'm not going onto the coarse one because it's quite soft steel in comparison to the. I thought it'd be harder, but it's not. It's softer. It should be able to get a good edge on it. We'll see though. So I'll show you with the gauge, just the guide, sorry. So this is like a universal guide. This isn't a very good guide, but because I don't generally use guides, I'm not going to spend like 100 quid on a decent quality guide, am I? I don't really use them anyway. This is just one that came with an oil stone, I think. So yeah, that's good. So the other thing about a guide like this, you can't actually, unless you set your diamond stone into a piece of wood, so you've got support all the way around the outside edge, you can't really do a figure of 8 when you're using, so you end up just wearing the same part of the stone all the time, and then you end up with a blunt bit in the middle, or in the case of an oil stone, a hollow. So just bring it back and forwards. And the idea is it's actually shrunk a little bit actually. Well, these are not all down properly. And nor it was when I built it, made this thing. That was flush, perfectly flush. But over the years, it's changed. So you probably hear it go bang, 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 bang on the edge. And that way, I can use all the stone. If I bring it from forward to back, I can use all of it. There we go. So many times I've seen like oil stones that look like a big banana or hollow in the middle. Already, this is the thing about diamond stones, they're fast. If you look at that already, you can see that it's already got its micro bevel. It's already there. And if you can look, you can probably see it's created that. See that there? That's created the little wire edge. You have to get rid of that, obviously. But what I'll do then, I'll move on to the 1000 grit diamond, and then I'll go on to this one over here. See how sharp we can get that, shall we? I'm only going to do about an hour stream, so. Oh, hang on, it's only 12 minutes now, maybe a little bit longer. I think that must be the missus. She's going to come in and tell me all about what she's been doing, not realise I'm streaming. Or she's going to come and have you fed the dogs? I say, nope, not yet. I was waiting for you to get home. You lazy devil, I'll say. Then we're going to go on to this one here. Yeah, I reckon Caroline's home. She did say 2 o'clock to come home, and then it's like, what is it now? 4 o'clock. So here in France it's CET time. So bring it back and forwards. This is a nice stone. So it's actually flat. So this is you've got to watch out for when you stones. Especially oil stones like this. You need to make sure, although it's on a bit of a slope because it's not mounted, I don't know, it's probably come out at some point. But anyway, you have to make sure it's flat. So if it isn't, you see that one it is. That's that is flat. If you see that there, yeah, there's no hollow in the middle. So whereas you can get another oil stone. So I'll see if I can find you a bendy one. What's that one like? No, don't know where a bendy one is. I've got a bendy oil stone somewhere. Where's the bendy oil stone gone? Not there either. Don't know what I've done with that. Oh, I know it. I actually gave it away. I gave it to my son. Hello, darling. How are you? A box? Where'd that come from? Out of the box? No.
No.
I'm live at the minute, darling.
Huh? What did it say? Did it say us?
Amazon?
Did it say your name on it? What did it say on it?
My name? I know it says, that's not Amazon. It says Amazon label. Oh, this is the medication. That's too heavy.
Not medication.
I
You ordered 50.
No, it's not medication.
And you took it off Amazon.
Nope.
What's he ordered now?
I haven't ordered anything. That's the thing. That's what I'm really curious. If it is, I'll have to send it back because I haven't ordered anything. What? Huh? Do you know what?
What?
Do you reckon that's Geraldine
Why? What's she got?
or somebody?
What?
Because I haven't ordered it. Oh, the note in it. Geraldine.
What's she ordered?
Oh, she is lovely.
What's she ordered?
We've got 2 new ones. Oh, Geraldine, you are a darling. You really are. What? Sorry?
Why she got this new one?
Well, maybe she thought we needed more. I don't know. I told her about Dana who passed away.
Yeah.
And I said, we're still using the cups, blah, 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 blah. I really appreciate blah, 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 blah. And she said some more. Oh, she's lovely.
Don't think we need 4 though.
Oh, I don't know. I've got this one now. I took you in the camper. That is so cool. Yeah, Geraldine. I don't know if anyone here remembers Geraldine, but she used to be on here quite a lot. Oh, wow. Oh, the Contigo was. They're really good, these are. So, I am. We're live.
Oh, sorry.
Just say hello to Caroline. There you are. You're in there, darling. That one there. Oh no! Oh, she's there! Oh no, push the cables!
Can I have a cups?
You want the cups? Oh. She's sweet.
The coffee then.
Huh?
Do you want the
Oh, you know what? Coffee now? Actually, can you christen one of these? Well, I never. Yeah. Geraldine. She did this to us before. When I started live streaming in here before, well, when was that? Earlier last year. And I was good. Then I got carried away with all shorts again. And Geraldine, she sent me those 2 grey cups that I use all the time. But also, there's someone I was using it. Oh, here. I think he sent me Glasgow Kiss. Sent me a mechanical pencil set. Brilliant. I use them all the time, as you can see, it's on my bench. And it might sound silly actually with the pencils, but they're not. You know, oh yeah, the old pencil did, but yeah, I suppose you could argue that. But they are really, really good. And the lead, even though they have a nice dark line, unlike an ordinary, like, because I normally use 2B pencils, is what I normally use in woodworking. 2B. To be or not to be. But yeah, on some. Oh, shit, you know. Oh, I have to thank her, wouldn't I? I don't know if she's here. No, she's not here. Our contact says I'm missing her still. Yeah, she had a bit of a disagreement with somebody, didn't she, on Discord? And she's actually Geraldine's been having a bit of a time recently. I gave her the message regarding, if anyone here knows who Dano is, he's just somebody who's talked to a lot in Discord on Max's stream. Lovely, 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 lovely guy, but he passed away. He got lung cancer. He passed away not Tuesday gone, last Tuesday. Was this last Tuesday or Tuesday gone? Anyway, he passed away. So I got in contact with her. In fact, I'd already had her details. I couldn't find them. But anyway, I spoke to Glasgow Kiss, and I contacted her, and she was very appreciative of it. That, you know, because she didn't have no. She used to, her and Dano used to talk a lot on, you know, behind the scenes and all that as well. And she is so clued up. I tell you, she's like a lawyer, but a lawyer in, I think, in the EU actually. So yeah, and she did. She's Irish. I did some videos now on the basis of what she supplied, information she supplied me with, as well, ages ago. She's really, really clued up. Lovely, lovely, lovely people. I'll tell you that, doing this lark, you know, even with the other channel, what have you, all shorts and that, you do meet some lovely, you don't, you'll meet them, but you know, I say that I met Graham, Graham Hughes. Been to every single country in the world without flying. So there's me, I was getting told off, what have you ordered? What have you ordered? I haven't ordered anything. I hadn't ordered anything. So, I will thank her, personally. That's so kind. Wow. Because I do use them all the time in my cups. You probably think they're getting a bit worn by now. That's what it is. We've probably seen them. There's those bluey, sort of wood grainy ones that I got as well. And I've got the stainless ones as well. So yeah. Oh, anyway, I'm excited. I'm happy. I'm happy. Good to be happy sometimes. I can't find my chisel. What have I done with the flipping chisel that I was fixing? I lose every blooming thing. I've actually lost the chisel that we were working on. Oh, see, it went from flipping eyes. Blinds about. Anyway. Right, so we're doing that one, weren't we? I can't remember if I finished doing it or not. I don't think I did. There you go. Distractions, eh? They're quite pricey, those cups are as well. They're not cheap over here anyway. Don't know what they're like. I reckon that's Amazon FR, so. Oh, lovely. There you go. I think we're getting close. It's not quite as straight as I'd like. It should be, because the actual grind is straight, but the bevel's not straight. Oh, the actual micro bevel isn't straight. So that'd be down to this. You can't, you know, that guide isn't a very good guide, basically. It's a wonky guide, it seems. More pressure on that side. Right, now I've got quite a burr on the back. Let's move it from that stupid thing. Right. You know what I didn't do? I didn't flatten the back of the chisel before I started sharpening it. Normally what you should do is flatten the back. Yeah. Just flatten the back of the chisel. If you look at it, you see all the old grinding from the linisher. All those got lines going through. Normally you polish that off, and I didn't do it. I was an idiot. So I got carried away. But it doesn't matter. We can reverse engineer. In there. I should use that one first. This one first. That one's too fine to start with. So I will need to run it back over the sharpened again. That's a silly old Billy that I am. Okay, stuff happens, don't they? Well, you don't have to polish all the back, you just really got to think, you got to make sure the micro bevel, the back of the micro bevel is going to be polished. It isn't yet. I still see lines. Pretty much nearly there, then we'll polish it with 1000 in a minute. For most people, you get that stone I was mentioning earlier, a 400 and 1000, you'd probably get away with. I would say you would definitely want something a bit finer for plain irons. For your chisels, 400 and 1000 is probably enough. The thing with a chisel is you whack it with a mallet, you know, and the edge is quite vulnerable. So if it's too delicate, this well, get damaged. It's getting there. It's almost there. You see there, but it's a little bit of a low in that area there. So in time, yeah, we keep working at it. I get, yeah, every time you use it and resharpen it, and you go through the process, you know, just a quick few swipes here and there. As long as you do it correctly every time, you'll improve it all the while. It'll get better and better and better. See, when you stop doing it correctly, then problems arise. Okay, we're getting close. If you're back and flat, smooth, you're not going to get a sharp edge. Oh, it's getting there. Who's that over here? My dear wife. She's returning with a new cup and a coffee in it. Yeah, no coffee. Oh, so just a cup. Oh. Well, the button's different. Oh, lovely. Lovely. Got hot coffee there. Oh, I miss Geraldine. It's quite nice speaking to her the other day, actually. I've got a number now, so I can phone her if I want. Some people are just so nice, aren't they? Right, so I'm going to go on to this oil stone now. Apparently I've got to be nice, according to YouTube. Yeah, because I was a naughty boy, I was. Apparently. Not allowed to speak the truth. Quite difficult though, because it's like, for instance, it says to, you can't, be derogatory to an individual or a group. So like, even when I say something like, oh, a whole load of numpties put the crosses in the wrong box, that could be seen as me being derogatory to a group of people. We're not just talking about like race and creed. It doesn't say that it doesn't say that in the policy. It's very, very open-ended, and you have to take it literally as open-ended. So it's like for any scenario, it's potentially a problem, because the bots, the algorithm is relentless. It doesn't care. I have heard they have actually said that they're going to be looking at the swearing part of the new algorithm. They say they're going to try and fix it, whatever that means. The problem is you're dealing with dialect and accents and with dialect, and how people say stuff. Not everyone talks properly. I don't, for a start. And the algorithm is just going to take everything literally, isn't it? Even though you say something that it didn't actually say that, you try and appeal though. It's a nightmare. If anything, that flags you up. That is pretty sharp. As you can see, that's fairly sharp, isn't it? Sharp enough for most people. So yeah. So that rusty old chisel is now a usable chisel. I might want to clean up around the handle a little bit. A bit of burr on there. As well as I've been a bit overzealous with the wire wheel. The sandpaper around that and just clean it up if I want to. I will do, because it's a bit rough on my hands. I've got very delicate mitts, you see. No? You don't believe me? Okay. Ask the missus. She'll agree with you. Yeah. kind of with heat, got it hot on the plastic and rolled it. Some people are so lovely. I mean, I don't know if a minute ago, but there's other people as well have also sent us stuff. Someone, like I mentioned before, someone had a hell of a lot of trouble to send us tree protectors, for our rewilding project that we're doing, which we're really going to get on with very soon. We have been doing it over the winter, but it's so wet. So now it's getting to that point now where we're going to have to really muck in and get them in. So we've got a whole load of trees, and we've got some we haven't even picked up yet from the place. They're there, but we've got to pick them up, but obviously pay for them. I looked at because in France they're doing a scheme where they give them little whips, the little baby trees basically, and God, you got to jump through hoops, and that worries me. When you got all the it's like when you get government grants and stuff. A friend of ours, might have mentioned it before actually, he had an Arga bought with a government grant here in France, and it wasn't an Arga, it was a Godin, sorry, it was like an Arga. Anyway, got this grant of £3,000 or something, and he installed it himself. You can't do that. That's been installed by, you have to send all the stuff off, you see, for the grant to the grant people to prove that. But 3 or 4 years later, he got caught out, didn't he? He'd pay it back because he installed it himself. It's a simple thing to install. There's nothing complicated about it. It's a bit of a shame, really. That deters people from actually doing this stuff. But that's when they were giving grants for wood burners. Now it's like grants for pellet burners now. Wood burners aren't quite so popular anymore. Everyone's got them here, you know what I mean? But where we are in France, we've got wood burners. They're very nice, but they're not that environmental. End of the day, every time you burn anything that has spent its life capturing carbon, you're going to be putting it back into the atmosphere, aren't you? Right, sort of polish off these sides here. I'm going to use the coarse grit. That's a 400 I'll do. And don't want to do that on the linisher because it's so thin at that point. You damage it. You just take too much of it time. So all we're going to do is move these over the way actually together. I'm going to use on the side there, fit it till it's flat. Easy roll it onto the side. Wrong way, otherwise there you go. Just polish that side off. Why are they so greedy? I'm looking on the side here, the original machining, it's so rough. It's like a lot of things, isn't it? If, for instance, something looks rough on the outside, the likelihood is it's rough on the inside. Get that in construction. People that obviously don't, give a damn. I've seen some stuff that people have done in homes. Cover it up with a bit of paint. What I'm going to do is try to keep it square. And using the other sharpener helps support the edge. That's better. Oh, it's not actually square. Anyway. Yeah, that's plenty sharp enough. Oh, I think that can go back onto its rack. There you go. So that is now, like I said, yeah, it's probably do a bit more TLC, I suppose, over a period of time, but you know, I use my tools, so if it's there to be used, now I know that one has got a nice thin chamfer on the actual bevel. I know that it tends to do a good job. Oil pen. Ah, let's have a look at that. Oh, what's that doing there? Bum 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 bum. Context. Missing out still, he says. You shouldn't say wonky. The algorithm might consider it as an international misspelling. Oh no, I hope not. Wonky. Probably. I won't be surprised. It's just. I've been reading through that. The YouTube policies, try and understand it, because some it's just so open. Using words like maybe, you know, that's like so you're saying I may receive a strike, or I may not. You don't know where you are with it, you really don't. My little Contigo, got a new one. Oh, that's so good. It's called Karen does. She makes me a double cup in there, you see, and I got to come back in. There's a way for her to keep me out of the way for longer. That's what on it. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah. Okay. Right. Should we do another one? I think we'll do another one. Let's get back onto the old carving chisels. I've been going through them and I've got one up there which is good. Oh, God's sake. This is one I bought off a car boot years ago. I never got around to doing anything with it. I'll just run it over the angle grinder, the wire brush. And it's someone decided to grind the wrong side of this gouge. Ah! Why would you do that? I mean, that's not a little bit. It looks like it's been attacked with an angle grinder, with a grinding wheel in it. I pretty much got to remove almost that amount of material. Yeah, that's not very helpful. So that one might be piecework, this one. I might have a nibble at it occasionally because it's going to take quite a while. Because remember, this is hard, fairly hard steel. I'm not going to be able to cut that very easily with a hacksaw. So it's going to have to be ground and lots of dunks and water to keep it cool. But yeah, yes. Why would you do that? That's just mad. You do normally grind, you know, sharpen the back, put a little micro bevel on the back. You do normally do that, but not like that. That is just ridiculous. It's not meant to be that way. You know, that's the shot. That's the. Oh dear. People! What are they like? What are they like? Right, so once we've done what we haven't done that one, I've got a little 3/4 gouge here that needs doing. Or should we move on to these chisels over here? I'll tell you what, let's move on to these cheapy chisels that need some work. I've got like a set of 12 of these things. I think they come from Lidl's or something. I bought them because I heard good reviews. Somebody did a renovation job on them. He actually changed the handles and everything. And they turned out to be good chisels in the end. Yeah, carving chisels. So what we'll do is we'll see if we can sort these out. Say, for instance, this one. That is going to be quite hard to do because it's not the same on both sides. So as long as I can get a good edge on it, that's all that really matters. But the problem with anything like this is you can't put it in a gauge. No, gauge. Yeah, or chariot like that. No, because it's got to be. No, you just can't. I think I'm going to take it onto the linear first and regrind that to the right angle because that is definitely the wrong angle. So we'll go to the linear first. What was that? I can't remember what that was though. No, must be that one. No, but just 3. It is. Yeah, remember that 3. I remember 3. So let's see if we can dunk that a couple of times in water and grind it in water, grind it in water. Oh dear. quite handy, this machine. As near as we're going to get it on that side. Although that one, go on Bennett, it's actually, I think the original machining is not correct. It's wider, that bevel is wider than that bevel. So really, I could probably do with actually, attacking that side of the bevel. You want the uniform, you're not going to get it sharp up, I should say. We have another case of it's hollow at that point there, so that just tells me that it's bad machining again. So okay, it's not too bad. I might forget about that, but that is definitely in a better position over either side, more uniform on either side of that. So I think we might be. I can't really do much about that. So other than it being a 12mm, you know, basically making it much narrower. That ain't very clever, is it? I don't think so. Right, let's see whether or not we can get an edge on that. Because a cheap old set, but it's always well been cheap if it doesn't work. There. bum, 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 bum. So we'll start with the course, which is that one actually has the courses. We're going to try and start with a bevel on there. Not bevel, a micro bevel, sorry. Can't really use a jig to help, you know, a guide to get the right angle. It's not really possible. Not on this, because no way grabbing, no way holding it. And the problem with obviously carving chisels, they're all different shapes and sizes. Oh, damn, this is so bad. I wish I could afford to get some decent ones. Steel feels actually okay. The steel itself is quite hard. Because the original machining is very poor. Okay. Move on to the finer one. Massive burr on there, which will have to be removed, obviously. But for that, this coming off that side. A bit of metal there. See the metal? That is that wire edge, but it's quite a large wire edge at the moment. At the moment, this is going to be no good whatsoever. That's totally wrong. Getting there. It's still a bit lopsided, but I can't. See, that side's thicker than that side. The actual steel's thicker. Really badly machined. Right, so I'll put it in the vise. It's not the ideal vise for it, but it's here. So it's in the right place. What I'm going to try and do with one of these diamond sharpeners, such as probably the coarse one to start with, I'm going to try and reshape the end a little bit, but then it'll work. I can see one side is more machined than the other. This is going to be annoying, so let's put that there. Put it onto the dual camera. Which one is it? That one? Yes. Move that around a little bit. Maybe down a bit. So what I'm trying to do, I'm just trying to do the back. Literally, what I'm doing is the back of the chisel. I'm never going to get them uniform because it's not. Well, it's just not possible. Because well, it is if I completely regrind it. Don't really want to do that. Is it worth it? You have to ask yourself. Grab that. What please grab that? That work? Oh, perfect. Perfect. There you go. That'll do it. That'll do it. And a bit of a hole in it. A hole in my word. My word. No, it sounds a bit wrong, doesn't it? Don't say that. No, I'll get flagged again. Yeah, I dare say I'll be going. Uploading videos again onto. See, the other thing is, there's no point in me making videos in advance because you know everything is time sensitive on the other channel. You know, there's actually a video on there now that I didn't manage to get up. I could make that live. Can't at the moment, but when the other channel's back, I can make it live. No, I can't do anything on there. I can't post anything. The silly thing was, But they stop you uploading videos. But they don't just stop you uploading videos. They stop. Oh, that's getting nice and sharp now. They stop you even doing posts. So I can't even do a community post. So I couldn't notify everybody. Couldn't do anything. The only thing I could do is comment. But obviously that's all very well if anyone's actually looking at the comments. So I did in a few of the comments, but luckily some kind people on other channels have brought it up as well. It's very annoying though. The whole thing is annoying. It's like I said yesterday, it's like building a castle on sand. You're kind of building up something, and it's in the future some point. Yeah, it's like stacked cards, isn't it? You know, you've got to pull out that bottom card, and a lot falls down. Or stack of beans. Again, beans. So yeah, it makes you wonder what are you trying to build up. I would say it's like having too many eggs in one basket as well. You need multiple streams, and everyone's saying they need to move away from the advertising model and towards the donation model, like for instance the Patreon and stuff like that. Otherwise, it's the whole thing can go. Oh, yeah, it'd be quite cool. I would love not to have advertising on any of my videos on this channel, any channel, because I know, and I know you do. I hate ads. You know, I don't actually allow ads in the middle of my videos, but they still put them in. It's very annoying. Yeah, I've got set so they don't go in the middle of the video. So I think it's really, when they break a video up, if the video's long enough, they're still putting ads in the middle. I've noticed. Not every time, but you don't get so many. But they're definitely there. It'd be quite nice to move away from having to use, you know, you've got to earn something, because nothing's free, is it? You know, it's like I just spent, not a huge amount of money, but I spent money on cameras and hair, and cards for the computer and stuff like that, so I could stream in here. It's not free, is it? You know, so you need to earn some money from somewhere. Otherwise, what you have to ask yourself, why are you doing it? You know, and okay, you enjoy it and stuff like that, or you want to get a message across, but you shouldn't have to pay. If that was the case, you shouldn't really have to pay, should you, to do that? You know, I think we'd all gladly like to be paid for the work that we do, don't we? You know what I mean? It's just because for me it is a job as well. It's a job I enjoy. I love doing the videos and stuff. You can probably tell. You know, and being someone who's like also kind of like stuck in the middle of nowhere, very few people to talk to right now, and I don't really go out very far. And obviously with lockdown, it kind of changed people's habits as well. Yeah, so it's quite nice really to be able to communicate via YouTube. So the thing about YouTube is I know they've got very short and curlies, because let's be honest, most of the other platforms aren't a lot of. You know, they don't have the throughput. You do not get enough views on a lot of those channels. You know, you got Twitch and stuff like that, but okay, they've got payment systems on there, but they're very, very, very mean. You've got to get a huge amount of views to make a living at a lot of these other platforms. So anyway, what's this one like? Oh, now it's a usable chisel. The only thing I will say is it's not necessarily. What it is? That's right, it is uniform. It says little V chisel, 45 V chisel. Is it 45? Yeah, 45. Not quite 40, 40 degree V chisel. It should be 45 actually. I'd have thought. But yeah, I think that's okay. A short grain there. Yeah, I think it's definitely more useful than it was. God, I wish I'd machined it better. Later on I might get tempted to regrind it into a better shape altogether. The steel actually seems okay, but I'll tell you what I will do though. I'm going to use them for a bit and see, you know, if they're worth spending the time on. And then we've got a shallow gauge here. This is a very shallow gauge. Doesn't feel too bad. Clean the bag off first. with little oil stone. So, teardrop oil stone. I'm just going to clean the back of that off. Did say I didn't do that now, didn't I? Tell you what, finish my coffee first. Go into hour and a half. That's what always happens, isn't it? Hello, Vicar. Good afternoon, folks. He says, whiskey hangover here. Oh, nice whiskey hangover. Not allowed whiskey at the moment because I want a diet. Yeah, boring diet. So, do you know what? I ain't eaten anything today already. But that's what happens to diet. I don't think it's the diet itself that makes you actually lose weight. It's the fact that the diet's so boring you don't eat anything. Although I did have mussels last night. I was allowed to have mussels. So steamed them, but I couldn't do like, I don't know, Mills marinade with white wine because they're not allowed wine. It's got sugar in it. So I did them with cream and the cream, spring onions and stuff like that. What spring onions? What spring onions? Chives, chives. And yeah, that was very nice actually. Okay, so the bag is okay now. So now we need to do the other face, which we'll do with the diamonds. Oh, diamond sharpeners, that happened to be on the floor now. Oh dear, never mind. that's another good thing about these diamond sharpeners, is that they don't break when you drop them on the floor. That's the thing with the old oil stones, you can easily snap them in two. Been there, done that. Oh, that's free. That's 3, 4, 600. Then move on to the next. Right, so let's oily business, isn't it? Creating the bevel. Start on the micro bevel. Even that with a cup. This is not great steel, I have to admit. It's I think it might be on a bit of the soft side, but we'll see. Create a huge burr on the bag already. That doesn't feel right to me. Oh, sorry about that. Dropped the microphone. Keep checking them in the cameras. I think I remember when I got the dual cameras up like this, is that I haven't got the whole, because I'm using half the camera. I've been quite easy to get out of frame. Is that that one? But to be fair, it's amazing what you can do these days. You know, when we used to do the old radio broadcasting, what have you, the amount of equipment we used to make that possible, and even then it was internet. Although I have done pirate radio before. Oh, I didn't say that out loud, did I? Which is a totally different kettle of fish in the back of a van. Norfolk. Almost there on that one. It's fine if we want that one. It'll be interesting to see whether or not the this is a waterstone. This one is better size. That's better size. Whether or not the actual edge lasts. If it doesn't, I'll say okay. Then we won't bother. Flex cut are good chisels, good carving chisels that I might invest in later, but it's so expensive. Oh, do what my old grandfather used to do. My great grandfather, that is, used to make his tools on the garden fire, temple of steel or what have you. They're old sod he was. He used to make all his own moulding planes, and that you say as well, but obviously they all required plane irons. The moulding irons. Just come up. you ever invest in like, I used to have it. When I got lost coming over here, I had a tool bag. All I had in was Japanese tools. I had 2 or 3 solid Dazuka and normally, chisels, Japanese chisels, and Japanese plane. Only had 1 Japanese plane. Chisels were lovely though, but you had to use, the reason why I bring up Bob, you had to use whetstones to sharpen. You mustn't use oil stones on. You booger them up. There's nothing wrong with that, that's fine. Okay, I think we can work with that. That's another one bites the dust. We're gonna have to do some carving after all this, won't we, at some point? I don't know what we're gonna carve. And the big enough bit of wood, I'd do a pretty patel. No, I wouldn't. What? If I lose loads of weight, none of my clothes are gonna fit. Sounds expensive. Right, so I can say that. Am I going to lose loads of weight? Nope, probably not. Just need to get. Yeah, so that one's a really like. Is that really a carving chisel? To me, that looks almost like a mortise chisel. It's thick at the base, tapering down to there. That looks like a 13mm mortise chisel to me. So there's some funny ideas. I don't know where you would use this in carving. Stupid. It's falling on the angle. What's that at the moment? Good, just shined that up. Now I'll flatten the back like we do normally. Start with the course on this one. It's got a lot of machine marks in it. I'm trying to think of projects. I need some projects to do. I've got loads of stuff I've got to do in the house. Loads. Still want to make a. Still would love to build a Millennium Falcon. I don't know if I can justify the input. This bit, Caroline, I'm not going to, that job's been sacrificed because I'm making a Millennium Falcon. I don't know how that would go down. Probably not very well. And these old chisels, these cheapy chisels, have got varnish all over them. It seems, I can feel it. Grip them, get out, fitting through it. They do that so they don't rust, obviously, in the boxes and stuff when they're some kind of lacquer they'll spray all over them. All the old stuff. You want to get rid of all that. Got a grip as you use it. It's got a grip in the actual, on the wood. You bring it over the piece of timber, it'll just grip to it. It's no good whatsoever. There we go. Feel it when it starts doing its job. Okay, not worry about the side so much. Done that one. Now we can then go on to the fine. Now I do the micro bevel. Okay. I know a lot of woodworkers out there, they show all their fancy stones, do this, do that. You have to ask yourself, is your tool that you've got, if it, does it warrant that kind of investment in sharpening equipment? The reason why I say that is not all steel will actually will merit such a setup. Oh god, that's pretty sharp actually. Yeah, that's sharp enough, that'll do. I would quite comfortably say probably not. There's no one a bit like a mortise chisel. 6mm. And that hasn't. So why is the other one covered in varnish? Yet that one isn't. Unless I've already removed it. I don't think I have. This isn't going to take a lot of sharpening at all because there's not much to it. It's only 6mm wide. I wouldn't call it a carving chisel. To me, it's just like a 6mm mortise chisel, or you could even use a lock chisel. That's 6mm. I'm talking about like cabinet locks and boxes and stuff like that. Yep, I think that's it. Yep, that's it. So that one bites the dust. Oh, getting usable chisels. Now we've got this weird spoon thing. I understand spoon chisel, but again, it's a straight edge on the side. I don't really understand how you'd use that. Because every time you use it, you can end up sculpting the corners. You know, digging the corners in. I don't think it'd be very helpful. You know, instead of there being like a whole load of different gouges, that's what you want, a whole load of different gouges. Different shape gouges when you're doing carving. That'd be the ideal scenario. Not that. That doesn't make any sense. I don't understand what that's for. I'm going to go one direction with this, because the shape of it, you kind of roll when you go back to the forwards. I don't want to do. The steel's actually okay, it seems. I know the proof will be in the pudding using it, what have you, but it feels fairly hard, but not too hard. That's another nice thing about diamond, is it will sharpen pretty much anything, including tungsten carbide. So it's definitely worth, you know, investing in. This one's going to be a bit of a bugger because it's round on the back. So I'm going to have to be very, very careful trying to do something with the back of that. You're working with all different shapes. Obviously you don't want to slide your fingers, so you have to pay attention to what you're doing. It'd be a very silly thing to do. I would say this. I said that steel seems okay, but it does seem creates quite a large burr, which is a telltale sign that's a bit on the soft side. That's the wire edge. It's literally just come off. You can see that little tiny little bit now. That's literally just fold off the cutting edge of the yeah, it's the burr basically, or the wire edge. I'm not keen on this chisel. Don't understand its purpose. Oh, I think that's sharp enough. Maybe it's got a purpose. I'm not convinced. But anyhow, what we've got time-wise, what we're doing, 1:45. So just coffee. Oh, I don't know, Geraldine, what you like? La 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 la. Okey. Yeah, I don't remember yesterday I was talking about this keyboard, ripping it apart. I've took the keyboard apart and put that together again because it doesn't work the way I thought it was going to work. It takes signals and there's limited on the receiver side of it, which is like a little board that connects to the USB. It's there's only got what 20 odd wires going to it, if that, maybe less, maybe yeah, not probably about 12 going to it. Yet you've got all these keys. So obviously it's taking a combination of yeah, of information. There's nothing here apart from the like a whole like a network of wires in a PCB, a plastic PCB, very very thin, and then it then goes to a board that's up top here, and without understanding what the formula is for every single key, the idea that I'm about to make a box with those 12 F keys is pretty slim, so I need another solution. I will come up with one. Yeah, that needs sharpening as well. Everything needs sharpening. Pretty much everything needs sharpening, bit by bit. Yeah. Right, well, I'm going to say call that it for now. So I can then go and see the missus, because, you know, I haven't seen her. Well, I have briefly, and she made me coffee, but, you know. She would keep swanning off, wouldn't she? I've got a feeling the grandchildren are more important than me. Am I jealous, baby? So I'm going to call it a day and say thank you very much for joining us, and I might go live again tomorrow or next day or whatever. We'll see. I want to look at my All Short Shorts channel, because I think I'll go live on there. If I'm ever going to, once I get my 1,000 subscribers eventually maybe, All Shorts, I want to start going live on there. Because otherwise, doing shorts, I can't, how if you can get your watch time? You have to have your watch time as well, you see. You need 4,000 watch time hours consecutive, or you need and 1,000 subscribers, or what else was that? Something else. So many million hits or something in so many days, or so many months. That's quite a bit, you know. And my type of shorts videos don't get a huge amount of views. Ain't like those viral type videos, like the comedy, you know, comedic type videos that do really well. So yeah, I'm not about to do that. I'm not going to do the shuffle either. Yeah, I've got shuffle dancing, isn't there? I'm not going to do that. No. How do you do that anyway? It's not like weird kind of like almost like the river dance or something. I don't know. I can't do all that wavy stuff. Oh dear, people. Yeah. Listen to you was quite relaxing. Oh, cheers, context. Yeah, so I hope everybody have a lovely weekend, and I might go live again tomorrow. Maybe. But I think there's some projects. I need some projects to do. I need to get all these things fixed and what have you, in the sense everything sharp. That's got to be done. And everything put away. Everything having a home. Again. Because everything's gone to a complete and utter mess in my mind. And then we'll do some projects. So that's what I need to do. So I'm going to say ta-ta, peoples, or Tara, peoples. So, yeah, au revoir, bonjour, or is it bonsoir? I don't know if it is yet. Is it bonsoir? No, not quite yet. Sun's not going down just yet. So, ta-ta.